Welcome back, everybody. Eli Lilly third quarter results crossing just a few minutes ago. Earnings came in at an adjusted $1.94 a share. That was 4 cents below the street's expectations, although revenue was higher than forecast. And the company's also raising its full year outlook. Joining us right now to break down the numbers is David Ricks. He's the CEO and chairman of Eli Lilly. And Dave, let's talk through some of these numbers. Again, it looks like it was a miss just in terms of the expectations for the earnings per share on an adjusted basis for this quarter. But for the full year, you really do seem to see some additional strength. Is that because of the COVID-19 drugs that are out there and demand for them?
Well, in part. Overall, we had a pretty strong core business performance in Q3. I think the miss versus the street, Becky, was really driven by tax. So we paid more tax than they thought we would. But the underlying business, both for the special therapies we made for COVID, these antibodies, along with the rollout of our largest products in diabetes, oncology, other areas, continues to be strong. And so that's the top line beat. It gives us confidence in our future, and we're reinvesting a lot of that into R&D projects that we're really excited about for the future of the company.
Diabetes and Alzheimer's drug, both of those are things that are kind of making the headlines right now, too. You want to talk a little bit about your latest diabetes offering?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, two of the most valuable projects we've ever worked on, and maybe the most valuable projects in the industry right now, are from Lilly. Tirzepatide, invented by Lilly scientists, is a next-generation diabetes therapy. And what really stands out here is both the depth of ability to control glucose for a very long period of time, which is a problem for so many people who suffer from diabetes, but also control weight in a profound way, a 15% weight loss versus placebo in these long-term studies, which we know is an underlying driver of the progression of that disease. We submitted that in Q3 with a priority review voucher. So this is a ticket you attach to it that speeds up the review. And we hope to have that approved in the first half of next year. Really exciting project. The other one you mentioned is Alzheimer's. A lot being discussed there. We have one of these amyloid clearing antibodies as well, called donanemab. We've been working on Alzheimer's for a very long time. We're very confident that this mechanism will work. And we want to take advantage of the accelerated approval pathway the FDA's opened up. We started a rolling submission here, and also today announced a head-to-head comparison to aducanumab, the product that was approved earlier this year, to demonstrate that our antibody clears plaque faster and deeper, which is what we expect to show.
Dave, there have been so many questions about the Alzheimer's pathway that was cleared by the FDA, whether it should have happened or not. Obviously, it provides a huge amount of hope for patients and their families, and has been meeting the endpoints of the study and the things that you've been saying, clearing the plaques. There's still a question out there about whether that's sufficient, whether that's enough to stop or slow or even reverse Alzheimer's in some questions. When do you think you'll have answers on that?
That's right. Well, we agree there's still an open question. The standard to prove that definitively is in large placebo-controlled studies that are blinded, that go the distance, that have a clean hit on the primary endpoint. Now, we had earlier this year a phase 2 study, a smaller study that did have a clean hit on the primary endpoint. And in a pretty convincing way, at least to us, every measure you'd expect of improvement went the right way. We didn't power to show a difference on everything, but it was a pretty small study, about 150 patients per arm. We're doing a study basically 5 times that size now, and we expect those results in 2023. We announced on this earnings release as well. That study's finished enrollment, so it takes now 18 months for patients to observe them and see what benefits they gain. In the meantime, though, as you point out, there are patients who will have progressed beyond the window these drugs are useful if we wait that long. I think that was part of the logic the FDA applied. And, of course, we believe, the totality of the evidence, that amyloid reduction will improve the lives of patients with Alzheimer's disease, which is a horrible condition, and there's nothing yet that slows it down unless we use these amyloid drugs. So that's, we plan to take advantage of that accelerated pathway. At the same time, very soon after, really, probably 6-9 months afterward, prove definitively that donanemab, Lilly's drug for Alzheimer's, can arrest the progression of this disease.